Hello.
Yeah.
Hello everyone.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, we can hear you, Yadavji.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So can someone take initiation?
Okay, Anchor, you can start.
Okay. Thank you and good evening, all of you. From all over the country, we have gathered here to celebrate and express our gratitude towards the person who started Service Civil International on his birth anniversary, 144th birth anniversary. He was born on 17th August 1879. And though his qualifications and all those things as a human being were great, but fantastically, it's a coincidence that we have got initially 9 speakers to speak on the birth anniversary of 9th children of his parents, Pierre Ceresole, Swiss national, civil engineer, a PhD, lot of other things, a very academician as well as socially minded personality. And to say a few lines from Bhagavad Gita, I would say there will be 2 lines for him. Yad jadacharati shreshthas tad devi taro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokas tadan vartate. The great personalities who do whatever their conduct and people do follow that, and whatever he sets the standard, people always follow that thing whatever he has done. So in this small introduction, I will not be speaking more about him, and we have got eminent speakers from all over the country. And may I invite the national president, Mr. Shanmugam Yadav, to speak his version, his expressions on the birth anniversary of Pierre Ceresole. To you, Shanmugam Yadav, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And welcome to the SCI family. So it was a great opportunity for all of us, being completed 100 years of our organization's centenary celebrations, and we are celebrating, and particularly this Mumbai State Group is continuously celebrating the Pierre Ceresole birth anniversary. That today I have seen some of our videos in beautiful application. Thanks to the appreciation. With respect to the particular occasion, the person who has been nominated for Nobel Prize in the year 1936, even till the oldest organization in the world, the first organization which started volunteering among the countries, is still we are struggling for this. The country has to go forward with respect to the lessons and spirit has given by Pierre Ceresole. Today, SCI has today it is 100 years. Say across the world, SCI is playing a vital role with respect to securing the peace among individuals across the country as well. Thanks to every group and thanks to every SCI member for doing his contribution with respect to this peace practice. With respect to SCI-India, definitely SCI-India is doing its job progressively, and particularly the last 2 to 3 years, the SCI groups, particularly maybe Karnataka, maybe Mumbai, or maybe I can say West Bengal, all these groups are celebrating all national occasions, including international occasions, national interest. And with respect to this today's essence,
His voice is cutting, no?
Only audible. Shanmugam, sir, you have to be a little louder.
Is my voice audible or not?
No,
Someone yeah, is it fine now?
yeah, now it is okay.
Yes, thank you. And with respect to peace, SCI India, we need to redefine the projects of the new generation, how we can go forward. Okay. Peace is the vital element where once again the world is looking for and the need of the day. Peace is not something you wish for, it's something you can make, and it is something you can do, and it is something you are. and it is something you give away. Establishing peace is a complex process. We all know because we are working together and we have been inducted and included and involved in many organizations, either the country level or international level with respect to this international diplomacy or our individual actions also. But there are few focus areas where this kind of organizations, particularly the international organizations is associated with UNESCO or UNO, the conflict resolution has become the main part. So how far we are looking for conflict resolution, how we have identified the focusing areas, even after 75 years of establishing UDHR with respect to human rights. Still the people, I can say honestly, there is no one is really aware of what the rights they have until and unless we have implementing or we are educating the people about their human rights. Is the peace is really applicable? That we really need to think of it, and the responsibility lies on this kind of organizations, particularly the international organizations which is closely working with the countries, the need of human rights. Do we have the jurisdiction for human rights? If anyone violates the human rights, does any court is taking care of it? As one of our friends is rightly saying, quoting the Bhagavad Gita, among all this, samsayatma vinasyate, there is the matter. So the responsibility lies on the international organizations or purely the NGOs, mainly focused on the human rights, if possible SCI, as the UDHR is celebrating 75 years of the declaration. Can we go forward? Can we take up that project, human rights across all our groups? How best we can do? Just come up with those kind of ideas. Definitely SCI-India has to support, has to do with respect to the UDHR. Okay, promoting the human rights is also part and parcel of establishing the peace. That's what I believe. Until and unless, if I cannot sit where you are sitting, and if I am not thinking where you are thinking, I cannot sleep where you are sleeping, how can I say that democracy or socialism or inequality is lies or not? So these are the focusing areas where the NGOs or the international organizations. At the same time, we need to look on the root causes in the proper form. What is the root cause? How can we eradicate that kind of root cause? How can we re-establish that humanity? This kind of education and awareness programs where we can go forward and engaging in multilateral organizations. Because either way, even I think a couple of days back, one of our SCI person has been addressing the international forum, European forum, with respect to peace. That gives us a real emotion, what we are working. And that has to go the remote. What we are doing and why we are doing, what is the need of the day, why this has to be implemented, and what is the need of peace. What is the purpose of relationship? What is the purpose of volunteering? And many people till today, the young generations has to come forward. And that honestly I can say with respect to communities, whatever it is, the people cannot go forward by looking backward. That we need to take up and promote the civic society, and that individual actions has to be promoted and cultural exchange has to happen. And I propose SCI-India, at least from this year, can we go ahead with the Pierre Ceresole Peace Award with respect to climate change, also one kind of award. We identify it is really why not SCI-India can give such an award. We don't need to go for a big function or big we can go to the volunteering program or project there. We can promote present the result. Let us be more and because the speakers and members also look at the things and how best we go forward with respect to this particular period. Actually, Sagar, SCI has 5 nights. I think that is noise. Is it audible? There is a day we need to celebrate the annual function. Going forward, conduct the JPC, you are telling something?
The voice is cutting.
JPC? there is some issue with my mic. Is it clear now? Yeah, of course. That's all I want to say. And need the quorum. And I will be here in the call, and I will take up the action items also. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shanmugam sir, for your in-depth expression of thoughts and all based on humanities. You wanted to say something and cultural exchanges. You rightly said there should be some peace award in the name of Pierre Ceresole. SCI should work into that. That proposal is very well appreciated, and let us see how far it goes ahead. Now, thank you, Shanmugam ji. Thanks for your inputs. Now, may I call upon the second speaker, Dr. C.N. from Bengaluru, the Treasurer, National Treasurer, SCI-India, former President of Karnataka Group. Mr. Raju, sir.
Okay. Namaste, dear brothers and sisters of SCI. At the outset, I bring you all greetings on this occasion from my Karnataka group and on behalf of the National Committee, as I am now one of the office bearers as a treasurer. Especially, I thank all our seniors. Today, I was happened to see them. They have done wonderful work all these years. I just joined newly at the national level, and I hope to do some solid work in maintaining all the records of the as a treasurer. Especially, I am thankful to our senior friend, Mr. Nitin, for having invited me to speak on the 144th year birth anniversary of founder Pierre Ceresole. So I am very happy to be with you all while reflecting on the contributions of our great founder to the community worldwide, and especially for our new generations. As we all know, he was born on 17th August 1879 in Switzerland in a wealthy family. He was the 9th child of a family. His father had served as a lawyer and federal judge, as a president of the Swiss Federal Council. Unfortunately, he lost his mother at his age 9 years. He was in search of a love and peace since he was an adolescent. A brilliant student, studied mathematics and physics, and then became a teacher of mathematics. He was not satisfied with this profession, but he left his job and home at the age of 31 to travel in many countries and paid all his... Pardon,
Put
sir?
your video on, please.
Oh, you want to see my dirty face, huh? Okay. Okay. Can you see me now?
No.
Okay.
Yes. Now, yes.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, continue that. But he left his job and home at the age of 31 to travel in different countries and paid all his expenses by taking up the manual labor work such as grave digger. This hard work with pick and shovel for the first time was to become a very useful for his later work. By the beginning of the World War I, he had foregone his family's inheritance, giving it to the state. While the massive destruction took place during the war, he raised his voice against the war and started campaign for a straightforward and objector in 1917. He opposed any support to the armed forces, including paying defense tax. This decision was to land him his first stint in prison, and it was not to be his last brush with the law. In 1919, he decided to devote himself to peace and social justice work. Seeing the aftermath of the First Great War, he saw a unique opportunity to recruit the young men who had served in armed forces to rebuild war-torn Europe. And this is how the SCI in 1920, he recruited a number of volunteers from both sides of the conflict, set off to near Verdun. This devastated area had been the site of a battle in the war. Many of the volunteers were German and Austria, eager to work as a forum of compensation to France. Together, this group managed to clean up the area and rebuild new houses for the villagers, and then he went on to campaign for civil service as an alternative to military service. Subsequently, a world world movement grew with this devoted person. The movement passed through the necessary gradual development and adoption to meet up the emerging challenges with the time. From campaign to consensus objected to war rehabilitation and conciliation. Subsequently, disaster relief, humanitarian help, human rights, environmental issues, and sustainable development, yes, SCI withstand the test of time. Now coming to India, this has reached the first time in the year 1934 with a small team of international volunteers with the local people to rebuild houses in villages destroyed by the devastating earthquake in Bihar. The camp was hosted by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who was our first president of India. Prior to that, our founder had met the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi ji, in 1931 in Switzerland when he was invited to work in India. SCI has grown worldwide, East and West, Europe, America, Australia, USA, Asia, and other countries. Now it is more important we should recognize the values which created. The basic strategy of SCI is a work camp. The major activities may be short-term and long-term. Volunteering opportunities worldwide which binds the hearts of people without recognizing any color, caste, creed, and region and nationalities. The entrant come as an individual and become a part of a world family. Volunteering opportunity will provide a healthy boost to anyone, a self-confidence, a self-esteem, and life satisfaction, a natural sense of accomplishment, pride, and identity. Before I conclude, I was reading an experiences of Mr. Muhammad Farooq of Sri Lanka, who served as a long-term volunteer, almost 10 years in different places in India with Indian volunteers and foreign volunteers. He said while returning to Sri Lanka, I quote, "After an exciting and wonderful learning experience, which I could not have acquired in any university, thank you SCI India and Sri Lanka for this great opportunity," unquote. Finally, he expresses his opinion. This is more important for all of us, saying it is a pity that we don't have any long-term volunteering exchanges within the Asian region where there is a wealth of knowledge, experiences, opportunities for training in promoting peace, non-violence, and reconciliation. I thank the Maharashtra group and personality, Mr. Nitin, for this opportunity, especially friends who have joined this event. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Raju sir. Vast experience of working in various sectors and various fields you have, and very nicely the SCI work and the Pierre Ceresole's work also. Fantastically, and then you also mentioned that he met Mr. Gandhi.
Please unmute yourself.
Suresh, mic.
Mic is on? Yeah. Once again, thank you, Dr. Raju sir, for your description. And may I invite the known lady of our speakers, Mrs. Shehrbanu Gular, the CWC chairperson and former president of Maharashtra Group, representing Maharashtra Group. All yours, ma'am. Madam Shehrbanu.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear
yes.
me?
Fantastic. Come on.
So good. I mean, since very elaborately, our former guest, he has said, I will try to.
Put your video on.
But there will be some repetition.
Start your video.
Okay. All right. So good evening, friends, and thank you very much, Mr. Nitin and Maharashtra group of SCI-India for inviting me to speak at this webinar. We are celebrating today 144th birth anniversary of Pierre Ceresole, the founder of SCI. Our new members are curious to know what is SCI and who is Pierre Ceresole. So SCI, that is, it is Service Civil International. It's a government organization working for peace and harmony without any discrimination of caste or religion. Now, it was established in 1920, and by now it has 93 national branches in more than 40 countries all over the globe. Now, who is Pierre Ceresole? He was born, I'm sorry, there will be little repetition, I'll try to avoid. He was born in 1879 in a noble Swiss family. During his education years, he was in Zurich, Göttingen, and Lausanne. Later on, when he was the professor of mathematics, in 1910, he resigned from his post, and then he traveled all over the world. He came across people of different, with the different cultures, different thoughts, and that made a great change in his thoughts also. World War had burst of repercussions. So Pierre Ceresole, he refused to serve in Swiss army. He refused to pay war taxes. And then, he handed over his ancestral property to the government. He thought that was the right thing to do. For a number of times, he was jailed for his thoughts, having such thoughts, He joined in like-minded people from other countries, and he started construction work. First, he started in a small village in France. It was a very war-torn area. His mission was to establish international voluntary service for peace and harmony. And his vision, he visioned social justice, peace and non-violence in a society where people will have unity and respect for each other. Thus, Service Civil International came into being. Now these people, he along with his friends, like-minded people, he made his friends, his teammates, they would have short-term voluntary camps, long-term voluntary service workshops. The first workshop that was held, which was in Netherlands school. In England, they were they camped near the mine, and they worked for the mine people, working for mine people. Another thing was, the work was tremendous. It went on, it was like a virus. It went on catching. The rest of the work, I will elaborate little bit, touch a little bit on his work, because my friends will elaborate more on it, But activities were carried on from Europe to Asia and then finally to India. In 1934, Bihar's small village was affected by earthquake. He took up reconstructive work with his teammates, and it was here that Pierre Ceresole met Dr. Rajendra Prasad, as my friend has already mentioned to you. He worked in India with Afghan refugees also in 1952. He worked with Tibetan refugees also in 1955. He went on working till his death in 1945, and he was nominated for Nobel Prize for Peace in 1938 or 39. Now in India, we have 6 branches. And we have in India 2 long-term projects going on in Nangla near Delhi and in Vedantangal of Tamil Nadu. Now, in this scenario, in this day and age, what are we supposed to do? What should one do? So first of all, educate people and youth in particular. So you have to change their mindset and practice yourself first before preaching. There should be religious tolerance. In the in the time of conflict, there should be dialogues and arbitration that will provide a congenial atmosphere. Like-minded NGOs may get together and make an effort to promote harmony amongst various sects. Now there should be peaceful protests against injustice and violence. That's all I would say. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू, शुक्रिया शहर बानो जी, बहुत बढ़िया आपने बातें बताई हैं और योर पॉइंट वाज टू एजुकेट पीपल स्पेशली यूथ एंड changing the mindset, which is I think need of the hour. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And can we call upon now the next speaker is Mr. Arul Raj, the former president of SCI representing Tamil Nadu group. Arul Raj, vanakkam.
Vanakkam. Good evening, friends. My voice is audible?
Yes.
Yes. Very clear.
Yeah, good evening. I appreciate Nitin and the Maharashtra group for organizing this meeting on this August occasion. I thank for inviting me to this webinar. Yeah, you may be all knowing that in the initial stages of SCI, it was failure of failure. The organization was struggling in the initial 4 or 5 years. Ceresole struggled a lot. Even the first camp was abruptly ended. The success was a very distant dream for him in the initial period, even in the so-called developed countries. In SCI, 50+% of the people are youngsters. I am speaking about the global scenario. 50 and above percentage of the population of SCI are youngsters, mainly college and university going students. But in the case of SCI in Asia, with a special reference to India, we could see a lot of senior people. But it is very much difficult to see youngsters or new faces in SCI. So on this very, very wonderful day, I would like to propose a program for all the 6 groups. I have prepared a text. The groups which are interested, I can send those groups about the text. That text can be a common text about SCI and its introduction. I would suggest the group to visit colleges on Fridays between 3 to 4 on every fortnight. Every fortnight Friday, 3 to 4, getting permission from colleges. The groups can go with the work camp pictures laminated in A3 sheets. About 3 or 4 people can go to each college, and with prior permission, we can spread the idea of SCI. And one speaker can say about SCI International. The second speaker can say about SCI Asia. The third speaker can say about SCI in the respective group, India and respective group. So this way, there won't be duplication. One person speaks about the SCI International, the second person speaks about SCI Asia, the third person speaks about SCI India and the respective group. By giving pictures and the statistics, etc. Say for example, if you are getting an audience of 300 college students, at least we will get about 20 to 30 youth of the particular college. We can write one of our resource person's mobile number, possibly a WhatsApp number on the board, so that the volunteers, the participating college students can WhatsApp the details, so that can be compiled later, and for the sake of the new incoming volunteers, the respective groups can initiate programs. Say for example, visiting an old age home, visiting an orphanage, visiting a psychiatric center. It costs no money. Initially you cannot organize weekend camps or work camps, but in order to keep the volunteers intact or in fold, we should make such visits along with them. Even we can ask them to contribute 10 rupees per head, through which we can buy some biscuits or snacks while going to the orphanage or voluntary organization. The sad fact is that any organization which involves youth, that organization only will thrive. SCI thrives in Europe because there are a lot of youngsters. SCI is not that much thriving in Asia because there is less participation from the youth. So if we want to make a honest attempt to flourish this organization, we should involve more youth. Where we will get youth available only in colleges. So that's why my suggestion would be, the group can visit. I have prepared a text. The interested groups can ask me, so that I will send the text. It is up to them to edit according to their need. So by this kind of college visits, we can induct more number of youth. Then we can identify potential volunteers with leadership qualities. Then we can organize weekend camps. Later we can involve them in a full-fledged work camp. This is my view about spreading peace and understanding among the Indian youth. Yeah. If you have any doubts or questions, you are most welcome to ask me. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Arul Raj. So nicely you carry forward the thoughts expressed by Sherbanu Madam, educating the people of youth and in a different way. Fantastic one. It is the need of the hour. Now, can we call upon Tapas Soor from West Bengal, former Secretary West Bengal Group, representing the West Bengal Group. Keman achen Tapas bhai? Hello. Namaskar. All yours.
Yeah. Now you can listen me, I think. Am I clearly audible?
Yes.
Little louder.
Little louder. Okay.
Yeah.
I would really like to thank Nitin and Maharashtra Group for taking this initiative and giving me this chance to speak in this very important occasion. I'm really happy. And the thing is, regarding Pierre.
Not audible.
Audible?
You have to.
Is it okay?
Little louder, Dada.
Tapas Dada, thoda जोर से बोलो, जोर से.
Okay, but I'm looking at the setting. Now, the thing is that I also went through the Wikipedia and just saw a lot of information there, and also listen very valuable information regarding Pierre Ceresole, which are quite encouraging. The question is why we celebrate these legendary figures' birthday. What is the reason? I think we receive inspiration going through the life of these great people, and that is very important for us because we are facing some sort of quench, some sort of wideness of ideas and values. And the thing is, Pierre Ceresole lived a very purposeful, meaningful life. From his very childhood, as I know, he was a very thoughtful person after his mother's departure, mother's passed away, and he was a very timid, thoughtful person. And in most of the cases, a child of such loneliness, they are apparently very timid, but mentally they're normally very very active in observing things and finding out some object and meaning and clarity so that they can work upon it. And if we see in case of Pierre Ceresole, it was a enormous, eventful and purposeful deeds and events happened throughout his life, and he could locate the things really registered. You see, if the things do not register, we cannot make action. If that apple fall down on the ground, which registered in the mind of Einstein, and he invented some theory. So it is very important, and it is very important to purify our mind and be honest with ourselves in understanding. We can gather data anywhere. Now it is some sort of showering of pollution on us, and so how to be precise with it? If we have really internalized his value, he said peace is a value. I was telling yesterday that freedom is a value which survives by spirit. It does not need any kind of identity. So if we gain that spirit, then only our values are expressed through our actions. And then only we do not gather any type of action, any activities, any happening anywhere. We just induct them and to express ourselves. We have to organize something in tune with the SCI spirits and values, and for that we need to understand. It's not enough to just gather data and information, but we need to internalize the actual values and spirit. That should be, if you ask, this movement is survived more than 100 years, and by what? By a simple, very simple concept of international voluntarism. And that is where there was a little bit of a difference with Gandhiji and Pierre Ceresole, that while Gandhiji was opposing every actions of the British, Pierre Ceresole said that we can oppose our government, but not for everything. And also we have to be practical enough with our approach so that we can reach the people worldwide, and we can exchange our culture, we can exchange our understanding of culture and look for peace with practical means. So it is very important, to understand, to make effort and gather people around and convince them. If I cannot convince my colleague, my neighbor, how do I dare to reach a person thousands of miles away? This is not possible. You know, because if many people sometimes say it does not work. People, because it does not work, because they do not believe. So we have to find out and we have to be acceptable and honest with ourselves. If we are really honest, then people automatically will have faith on you, and they will believe you, and that is the law of attraction. And this time people are talking about the law of attraction law. And I think that is where Pierre Ceresole found a channel, a flow that covered 100 years and still keep inspiring people to reach others and to draw them towards you. And so we have decided in West Bengal group to visit class 11 of many school, not many, maybe 6 to 10 schools in this quarter from September to December to find out. And actually we have taken a policy to induct people of different unknown people even. If anyone likes to contribute, they can come forward. The problem is that why the Urul Rajji pointed out a very important thing. In Europe, it is a youth organization, and in Asia, it is all for veteran senior people. Why it is like this? Another point is also, in Europe, it is mostly girls organization, whereas here it is only male. So it is the one thing is very important here, that patriarchy. You know, we are not still free from patriarchal values. So thank you very much. I think I'm running out of time. And
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dada. Thank you, Dada. You rightly pointed out that we have to inculcate the spirit and value and internalize the concepts of Pierre Ceresole. And you have rightly pointed out that when he lost his mother at his age of 9, and being the 9th child of his parents, and incidentally today also we had 9 speakers. So 9 is very important in that aspect. And then internalizing the spirit and value of the friendship and humanity is very rightly pointed out. Only thing, you missed out Isaac Newton's name. Isaac Newton might not file a suit against you for not taking his name. That's okay. Now, yeah, that's all. That's all. So nice of you to comment on these things. Now, can we invite our next speaker, Mr. O.P. Yadav? He is a former CWC chairman, SCI-India, and representing Delhi group. आइए यादव जी, आपका स्वागत है. मंच आपका है. माइक ऑन करिए यादव जी.
Thank you, Nitin, and the coordinator and the Maharashtra group for inviting, and not only inviting, organizing this very, very important, useful program today. Is my voice okay?
Your face is not okay. The light should be on your face. Okay. It's better, much better.
Okay, thank you. The 144th birthday anniversary of Pierre Ceresole, a teacher, engineer, peace activist, and not only activist, a peace lover, I should say. And my many senior colleagues has told a lot about our founder of SCI International, and some good was, something was repeated also, so we don't miss anything. So instead of going about more about this great personality, I would like to see that this moment, 100 years moment, I have seen many moments, and I have been part of many moments, 2 other moments also, but this is the longest one which I am here as a volunteer, you can say. And this SCI, I think it is having 40 branches in different countries, And it is not only for others we teach or we preach. I think it starts from us. If we have inner peace, if we look into ourselves, introspection, and this is a time for people like us, what we have been saying, that a lot of people in India, particularly Asia, are senior ones. So this is time when we search peace inside us, and we work for it. And it is nowadays so much disturbances, so much war, many places as going on. And if we see that the political and social atmosphere everywhere need the volunteers, the people who work for peace. And it is not only the global or national. I had experience of working in a project on cultural exchange and peace through development. There had been a lot of disturbances in few communities because they were poor, they were not having enough thing to eat, livelihood problem. And when they were supported, so with the support, they became involved, they got work, and with the money and resources what they get, their social life, family life became more peaceful than the earlier. So peace, bringing peace is a very, very wide area where we can contribute as much we can do, and of course to self also, which I mentioned earlier. In the 3-4 main areas where is a world peace, social justice, and sustainable development. Of course, climate change also is one of them. And now we were talking about taking the movement, SCI movement, in institutional areas, particularly the education institutes, colleges, and schools. After coming back from Bengaluru, we were thinking, our group was thinking on this same one. And we had some schools which had been part of our SCI camps years earlier, before COVID, 2-3 years before COVID. And we see a light there, we see their positive response. We will be continuing to work with them and having sessions and later on camps, slowly, stage by stage. And of course, we have got a very good, strong idea from our immediate past president, Arul Raj, working with the colleges and institutions. Yes, he will be. One more area I could mention here to my learned friends, experienced friends, that is along with the youth, we need to see the gender participation also, other gender. More people, more adolescent and young women could be motivated, even if they don't become the member immediately or in the near future. Let we go to them, we talk about the SCI, about the peace, about the movement, and make them future ambassador in this area. This is one of my brief submission, and thanks again. And I am really inspired again, although since 82 I have been involved, but today I was informally talking to Nitin, and the biggest inspiration for us is our founder, Pierre Ceresole. Let us salute him once again and keep the moment going on. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, O.P. Yadavji, for your nice input about the reach through the development, peace through the development, and approaching the gender and youth. Fantastically said. Now, may I call upon Sudarshan Joseph from President Karnataka Group, representing Karnataka Group. He was more than 3 decades. He is with SCI. Vast experience of various fields. Now I request Sudarshan Joseph. Namaskara sir, Banni. You are, I think, mute. Unmute yourself. No, this is mute again. Yeah. Voice is not coming. No, sir, no. No sound.
I can't see in the panel. I can't see.
Yes.
He's there. He's come back.
Okay, but voice is not coming.
Joseph, unmute yourself. Your voice is not coming.
Voice is not coming.
He's unmuted, but I don't know why.
Yeah, he's again muted.
No. Yes, Sudarshan. Can you hear me?
Joseph, we can't hear you.
We can hear him now.
No.
Gone again.
No. Joseph.
Sound is-
You can join in on the mobile instead of computer.
Yes.
Mobile, the voice is. Okay.
Yes. Now is it clear?
Yeah.
Yes, it is clear. Put the video on.
The video is
yes.
on.
Video is on.
Very nice.
Okay.
All yours, Sudarshan.
Yes, sir. So now I want to
Put video on.
The video on. Video on.
where is it?
Bottom left.
I hear an echo. Can you hear echo? Yes, sir.
Yes, correct. Go on.
Okay, sir. Now I
Yeah.
want to talk about Pierre Ceresole on a lifestyle this thing. See, basically for me SCI is more on a lifestyle, because what he was going around doing was only to meet people and asking them to become more responsible as citizens of their own society. That was what he was looking at. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So Ceresole, when he was with the Lithuanian movement in Netherlands, he was inspired by how to help people in need and how to stop the war, because that time World War was going on. World War One just got over, and then it was France was beaten very badly, and Pierre Ceresole along with his team members went to France to work. That was a healing actually. It was not more people were not ready to accept them coming to work there. That was a very big challenge for Ceresole. Though it was the first camp that he organized, it was something to do with forgiveness and love and compassion. And people, though he was able to build only 3 houses, and was
left to only clear the debris, and then they chased him away from France. He never left doing what was doing, helping the people, helping the poor, helping who needed us. And he was not an ordinary person who was doing that. He was a well-educated person who had all the opportunities to become rich, famous, and even with grandeur. He could have lived exceptionally well. But he sacrificed everything. I don't know, even his family life was all sacrificed just to bring about peace in society. When he met Gandhi, Bapu, he was so much touched by the non-violent movement that we were practicing in India. And he somehow wanted to inculcate wherever it was possible, bring in non-violence and build the society. That was what was important. Forgiveness, forget, and build the society. And even now, though he was not working for money was not the question for him. It was only how you can join people together, make them to live in harmony. Though he was working with the Quakers, which was a religious organization which was helping only this thing, he came out of the organization so that the world can be reached out without a religion, without a creed or whatever. He just wanted to come out of that web and come out and tell them love and compassion is a universal language, universal religion. So we can live together only with this. See, today so many activists are only working towards peace, world peace. There's so many ups and downs that are taking place in India. Where do we stand as SCI members? Are we there to support any of these activities? Are we there even to give one drop of water to any of these people who are suffering? Anywhere, any part of India. We should come out of all these barriers and make SCI more conducive for people to come and join in as well. It is not as this thing. This is not an organization where matter. It is an organization of peace. So we have to stand somewhere. Can be brought. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sudarshan, for nicely. I think because other people use that. How is it going? Yeah. Thanks a lot, Sudarshan, and touching the compassion, fantastic. It was actually the basic of the SCI, how this came into existence. Now, can I call upon Vivek, former Treasurer Maharashtra Group, representing Maharashtra. Vivek, all yours.
Yeah, thanks. I would like to emphasize on some. I think it's echo coming. I don't know why. My voice is coming late. Anyway.
Other side micro.
Everyone, ठीक है, everyone is now mute.
Correct.
I think my voice is coming okay now. Okay, I wanted to insist upon some points to promote the ideals of Pierre Ceresole. We already, as a Maharashtra group, prepared a booklet on Pierre Ceresole as well as the activities of SCI over the last 100 years. I propose that we can have some kind of a model, administrative model, so that the individual groups can perform better in a better way. For example, how to conduct meetings, how to issue the notices, and how to conduct how to maintain minute books. All these basic things I am because I think that will improve our working. How to conduct meetings online. I mean, at least the office bearers, etc. They don't have to travel every time they want to speak to each other. And therefore, I would say having a Zoom is slightly expensive because it charges about around 13,000 per year, whereas this FCC that we are now using is a better solution because it offers all this and better services with an annual cost of only 2,400. So I would suggest SCI-India can take a subscription, and then all the groups can use for their individual meetings. Only thing is the meetings should not overlap with each other. But one subscription can serve the entire SCI-India as well as different groups. So improvement in the groups requires firstly minimum activities that a group should conduct. That I talked with Jaiprasad. Jaiprasad has prepared some documents. At least one camp, at least one short-term camp, at least 2 or 3 weekend camps in a month or in a quarter, whatever it is. And with the online facility, because we are geographically dispersed, at least on not only on India level but even in Maharashtra, our members are spread out. One is in Thane, one is in Palghar, one is in Pune, one is in Konkan, and all those. So geographically dispersed kind of membership, they can meet easily. And when you have a program, for example, you don't have to, you have no time to travel, and the program has to be organized. So these online meetings will be a better way. So I would suggest a subscription of FCC, free conference call service, will be better. And how to conduct those technological inputs, then how to maintain the accounts, because this is very important that all the groups are using the SCI-India receipt books, and they don't have their individual PAN cards and so on and so forth. And therefore, a training is required to maintain the accounts, how to issue a receipt, how to prepare a voucher, how to file those vouchers in a file year-wise, and so on and so forth. And one single combined sheet where you have in one Excel file. Excel is a basic spreadsheet in which you can put all the information. So the treasurer or secretary maintains that worksheet, and on the left side it's a receipt, and on the right side it's a payment, and both cash and bank. And then at the end of the year, you can tally the cash, tally the bank, all those basic things for administration of a group. And then once we have the perfect kind of working going on in the groups, we can even think of taking these models to other states. I mean, we only have 6 state groups, but there are many other states where the groups are not there. So anybody there locally, how he can start an SCI group, how he can encourage. Like for example, the basic model that we have adopted is, I mean, when I was there in 1980s, we had adopted was a blind school where we used to go as readers every Sunday, and that happened consistently for a number of years, and we are still together. You can see all the faces, these old faces, including Suresh Iyer, Jaiprasad, myself, Nitin, Sunil Pednekar, who is now in Bangkok, Prabhakar Kamble, all those, these are all old kind of 1980 kind of group. And that time this Sunday reading for the blind girls brought us together, kept us together. So wherever you can find there is an organization or institution or free education kind of a class somebody is conducting where volunteers are required, I mean, we can start with collecting volunteers for that particular project and then build a group, small unit initially, and then built into a group which will have their own office bearers, committee, minute books, accounts, and so on and so forth. So this is, I'm talking about basically expansion, the improvement in the existing working as well as improvement in the number of groups and progressing all over India. So this was my take, and then I was thinking of putting all these ideas into a booklet and taking a workshop, not workshop but webinar kind of, just like this, where everything will be explained. So that is what I propose. And once the booklet is complete, I will inform everybody, and then we can have the webinar for administrating and expansion of SCI India to other states. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vivek, for your the inputs on how to conduct the meetings and manage everything on verbal and virtual media. Impactful use of virtual media nowadays is very much required. Thanks a lot for that. And I don't think we have the other lady speaker who is indispensable because of her illness. This is the 8 speakers who have spoken today. It was like,
Suresh.
Yeah.
I was disconnected in between. OP Yadav completed. OP Yadav.
Everybody is over.
Done.
Everybody is over. Yeah.
Nitin, that only one comment I want to, if permission is there.
OP यादव जी 1 सेकंड मेरे को पूरा करने दीजिए, उसके बाद आपको बोलेंगे, आपको बोलना है.
Please carry on.
Yeah. ये 8-9 speakers लोगों ने जो बातें की, and the speakers, it was like, on the birthday celebration we presented a floral bouquet from all over the country, from Bengal, from Delhi, from Andhra Pradesh, from Tamil Nadu, from Karnataka and Maharashtra. It was a differentiation, diversified bouquet, with having all the aroma and the floral bouquet on the occasion of 144th birthday of Pierre Ceresole, the founder of SCI. So I just want to quote one line from Majru Sultanpuri, depicting the work of Pierre Ceresole. मैं अकेला ही चला था जानवे मंजिल, मगर देखते ही देखते लोग आते गए और कारवा बनता गया. And that's what from my side. And now I request Mr. O.P. Yadav to have you wanted to say something.
Oh, that is instead of what I said, that what Vivek Patil just has some important points. Let us note down that one and work on it, because I think some of the points, if not all, some of the points are the basic ones which any organization should do.
Correct.
Rest could be planning, or if it is done earlier, that is great. That is my submission.
Yes. Now I think I will handle. Yeah, sure.
Shall I add some points, Mr. Nitin?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, supposedly.
Shall I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I am very much impressed the ideas given by Mr. Vivek Patil ji. He is concerned about the organization structure. Unless there is a clear cut and structure is there with all accounting, regular meetings, and no organization will develop. Fortunately, I was able to get some information from Nitin ji. It's very interesting. See, Maharashtra group, the state group consisting of the representatives of the local branches. See, just keeping 9 members, you can call it in a state committee. It is not at all a state committee. The state committee should have a local groups also. Their local groups representative come to the state level and form a state committee. That is my concept, because all international and national organizations, they have this kind of a setup. Then only it can be a democratic way. Otherwise, only few people coming together and doing it is not at an organization. And coming to membership is more important. Without ensuring membership, then how could you assess the organization development? We say the activities and membership is a 2 faces of a coin. Without membership, there is no activities. Without activities, no members will come. So we have to think of it. I am hopeful in the CWC committee meeting. I am very hopeful of all these suggestions I am going to put up because of my experience more than 50 years in several international organizations. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, before I hand over to Mr. Nitin, I personally and individually from my side, thanks each and every one of the speakers who expressed their views, like starting from Shanmugam Yadav, Dr. Raju, Mrs. Shaharbanu Gular, Arul Raj, Tapas Dada, Sudarshan Joseph, O.P. Yadav, and Vivek Patil. And thanks for giving me the opportunity to interact with all the eminent speakers from all over the country. And now I think it's a very big thank you. Now, Nitin, I hand over to you.
Anybody wants to contribute?
I would like to announce that our camp of West Bengal short-term camp for 8 days from 28th, it will happen. So if any of the states, I have not heard from any state group, so if you have somebody can locate, just send with my phone number, it will work out. We will offer necessary support to take him from Howrah or Sialdah station to the camera. Just inform, if any of the group has some participants, send them. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else wants to contribute? Jai Prasad, Prabhakar, Sunil. Avinash is also there. Avinash, few lines.
Sir, I'm driving.
Put your video on.
No, I said I'm driving.
Okay.
You can speak.
Few lines, Avinash, few lines.
No, I think it is a very good development that all the groups have come together today. I think in the last few webinars and meetings, we missed, I think, one or two groups. I also would like to request each state group representative here to ensure that the state groups send their volunteers to camps in other states. West Bengal is having a camp on the 20th. I've been writing to the general secretaries from the past 1 week, but I have not received any response. To any group to flourish, I think we all need to get together and at least promise ourselves to send at least 1 or 2 volunteers to the camp. Otherwise, it is going to be the same thing in every meeting that we just keep talking about how to improve the work camp situation in India. But again, it is the same thing again. It is a very sad state of affairs. I would not like to speak about Pierre Ceresole other than wish everyone very happy for day. I think all the members have thrown a lot of light on what Pierre Ceresole is and what his life has been. But what I like to emphasize, adding up to Vivek ji's comments about how meetings and administration should be set up, likewise, each state group should have its own responsibility in sending volunteers to activities conducted by other state groups. I'm sorry, I cannot talk more. I'm driving. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhinash.
Thank you.
I think Jai Prasad wants to say something.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay. On this today's occasion, we are celebrating the 144th year of Pierre Ceresole, who started with the campaigning of the word, what we say always, not just words. So let us exercise on that. Let us take up bit by bit, share our responsibilities, and please think that whatever we do is for the betterment and the development of the movement. So I don't want to elaborate much on this because you are all very much known about what we are preaching. But when we preach, we have to practice. So there are very many gray areas which I still see we have to improve upon. Otherwise, we will see a bad result. When there are more activities, there will be more volunteers. This is what I believe. So initiate more activities, keep many doors and windows open for new young volunteers to come in. Previously, we used to have youth induction programs where we used to, like Arulraj was saying, that you go to colleges. That means there should be an opening for volunteers to come in. And you should be having very worthwhile activities. And that can only bring in volunteers. Because our complete setup of our NGO is on volunteerism. Whatever we speak on peace and
international understanding. At least we should inculcate that through our actions. That's what I strongly believe today, and I am still with SCI for any developmental work in future to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. Anybody?
If nobody else, Sunil will be giving thank you.
Sunil want to say something?
I'll be thanking everybody. If anybody has comments to make, please make now. Anybody wants to say anything? Okay. Well, sir.
Prabhakar Kishore.
Yeah, shall I say something?
Sure.
Arul Raj.
Yes, Anuraj.
Nitin, yeah, in future, webinars like this, we should give topics to members, so that the overlapping may not be there. Yeah, this is small suggestion. Thank you.
Okay.
Prabhakar.
Hello.
Yes.
Bola.
We have planned a work camp in November, and Karnataka group is also with us. So this and other groups, I request other groups to send the volunteer to this camp. And in my opinion, we should have a total approach, international approach to the organization. We must be aware of what other groups are doing, other branches are doing, and some more situation is like that the European branches are on forefront, and whatever is going on in Europe, it is all internal. But in USA, there is a different approach. For in Asian countries also, Cambodia and Malaysia, they are doing things. So we must be look what the other branches are also doing and have a total approach to the organization as a international. Thank you.
Now, I think nobody is there. Then Nitin.
Kishore will speak.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, I am really happy to see here the representative of all the 6 groups of SCI-India gathered here and express their views on the Pierre Ceresole Day. It is a very happy moment which will be remembered for all the time, and whatever that they have input they have given, and again that a special mention of CNN Raju, since he is national treasurer, having 50 years experience. So from this year onward, we may see good what do you call that, corrections in our accounts and all this, and expect in the coming 2 years there will be no lapse on the part of SCI-India in presenting the accounts. Okay, so this much is from me. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Sunil.
Hello everybody. Since Shobha is not well, so the job of thanking everybody has come to me. So I would like to thank all of the speakers, President Shanmugam Yadav, CNN Raju, Sher Banuji, Arul Raj, Kapasur, Gopi Yadav, Sudarshan Joseph, Vivek Patil, and also the comments made by other people, Avinash, Jay Prasad, Prabhakar, Kishore. And a special thanks to Suresh Iyer for hosting this whole meeting very professionally. I also would like to say something more, is that we consider SCI as a big family. And I know everybody is busy with their personal things and all, business, jobs, etc. But we do spend some time with our family. So just like that, we should also have some time together like this. Either once in a month, if not possible, then at least 2-3 times in a year or something, so that we can share this. It was very good to not only revisit Pierre Ceresole's biography and what he did and how SCI was formed, but also to take it further, like Vivek said, to improve the current setup and then expand. This is what we need. And if you see at the world today, we really need more activities like SCIs all over the world. And I also like to reiterate, which everybody knows of course, that we are a religious and a political organization. And whenever we contact new volunteers, we should stress this point. And because for most of us, what SCI represents is that the human value, humanness in us. And that is the most valuable thing, I think, that we should always maintain. So thank you again for coming here together and sharing your thoughts. And I hope we'll meet again like this many times, and together we'll build SCI in India and SCI worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay then.
Okay, bye.
Have nice.
See you.
Good night. Good night, sir.
Nice meeting. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.